Hello everybody. My name is UMXer238. You guys already know that. And I'm going to be doing the tutorial today for the Brie of My Dreams ARG. Let's do it. And real quick disclaimer before I start, all the answers to the ARG are now all lowercase because I did not know beforehand that the answers were case sensitive. Now, back to the video. A bit of an odd intro, but I'm an odd guy. So we're going to start off by going into the Discord where the clues actually started. Right now you can see my numbers haven't changed. They're up to date. But that's because I haven't changed them just yet. This is the recording of the tutorial before the tutorial actually happens. What's going to happen is I'm going to change these numbers right here all to the number 1027, which is indicating to go to the number 1027 in the Discord right over here. And when we scroll all the way up to the number in the counting channel in my Discord, I forgot to specify, this is the UMXer238 Discord. Well, actually the Mikester's Discord is what it's called now. If you guys want to join, I'll have a link down in the description. But when we scroll up to the number 1027, which has no significance to me at all, haha, it says go up to 27. So from there, we're just gonna scroll all the way up through the counting channel, my favorite game. I don't know why I wanted to hide the ARG in this counting channel, but I did, so it works. So if we scroll up all the way to number 27, we can see it's actually retries message. But right here is a suspicious looking link. It's not really suspicious. That makes it sound bad. It is the Brie of My Dreams intro. We're gonna click on that, download that, and you can see up here I've been downloading mods today. Anyways, that wasn't really that funny. I'm gonna go ahead, I don't even know if you can see that too, because my screen isn't capturing my full screen. I can do that, and now it's capturing the full screen. Cool. Anyways, when we get the map right here, that's what we just downloaded. It's the Brie of My Dreams intro. We're gonna go ahead and extract it, put the Minecraft save into the saves folder. It might take a second, so I'll do this off screen. But you just put this into your saves folder, and then we'll play it in the game. Oh, and I should say too also that I already have these folders pre-made in my downloads folder. It says already used clues and clues 1 of 16. That will make sense later on, but just to keep my files organized, since we already used the map and it's in our folder, I'm just gonna put in the already used clues folder, and we'll go into this world where I'm still recording my intro, and we'll go over to the Brie of My Dreams intro, which I'm going to go ahead and turn up the Minecraft audio, and hopefully that won't be too loud. Yeah, so we can see we start off in this black cave. Before I go ahead and do this, I'm going to turn up the audio. And audio turned up to a healthy 64%. Let's go ahead and we're just going to walk forwards and jump down. And you can see we get started with these scenes. And hopefully this is not too loud. My ears are kind of getting destroyed, but that's okay. We're going to fall through, I think it's 7 scenes overall. And they're displaying seemingly random things. By now you guys probably know what these scenes are. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to release everything. Wow, this is loud. Yeah, it says that the audio is about the same sound of my voice, so hopefully this is not destroying your ears like it's destroying mine. If you guys can't hear me, this is all going to be very funny too. Ooh, that was loud. That was not fun. Hopefully you guys could actually hear what I was saying that whole time. Got 3 black concrete, even though I'm not supposed to. You can see we fall into this area over here, and this is the Brie of My Dreams intro, the start. I'm going to go ahead and start reading the book that welcomes you. Welcome to the ARG, the Brie of My Dreams. This ARG has been created for one purpose, to find my Brie. Can you find her? If you do, please let me know. She's very important to me. With her, I might be able to come back. You might be asking yourself, come back? Come back from what? Some might call it retirement, others a break, but it all means the same thing really. If you solve this ARG, then I'll be back. Enough said though. Good luck, and feel free to use all the resources you can get your hands on, but please don't ask me to help. If you do, I'll ignore it and evade, or I might even call you crazy. Others will soon believe you, but until then, I'll be waiting. Always waiting. And then it starts going into this whole spiel of a bunch of random stuff. My favorite part of this book is this actually right here. It says, look over here. Nope, look back now. And then you get stuck in this loop. And then it says, how long did it take to escape the loop? But the first 2 hints are actually hidden in this book. If we scroll to page 10, because the hint is from the Discord, it's 1027, there's actually these 2 words, oh boy. If you click on this one right here, it will take you to a link, and this will actually be the beginning of the ARG. This Google document right here says the password you seek, the very first clue, do not overthink. And I use Google Docs password protected things. You can see the passwords right there already. Actually, that's just because I already went through and tested all this. So that's gonna keep happening. But I use this as like a format to actually do the ARG. But if we click on the second link, the boy and oh boy, this will take you to another download of another map, which I'll go ahead and put in my world in just a second. First, No, actually, we'll do the escape room first. We'll come back to the intro after we've done the escape room that is downloading right now. Alrighty then, if we click into the Breathe My Dreams escape room, we're gonna go ahead and do the tutorial for this first, and then we'll go work our way back to the intro. Right here, we start off in an escape room. This helmet right there is pretty important. It says a missing cat. That'll make sense later, but let's find our first 3 puzzles and start to solve. The first one is very simple. With the new implementation of books, you can actually take books out of the bookshelf and you get a key. When you put a key in one of these insert key boxes right here, it unlocks a door, as you can see right there. So that's the first puzzle done. The second puzzle is this banner puzzle where you get a tripwire hook that can break these colored banners. If we walk over here and break these guys on up, we'll get 3 different colored banners, and then we'll look at the clue again to see what it's telling us to do. So just got all 3 of those. My tripwire hook disappeared, and now this hint is saying blue to yellow, yellow to green, and it gives us this hint of 3 stripped logs where we can place these banners. So right there. So it's blue to yellow, yellow to green. Boop, boop. I did that wrong. Let me reset that real quick. Blue to yellow, yellow to green, green to blue. And we get another key. So this key will unlock this room over here. Doesn't matter which keys you put in which barrels, they all work. And then our last puzzle is right in here in the wardrobe. You can see we are given a display of armor, and we just got to wear that armor. So iron helmet, diamond chest plate, iron leggings, and then leather boots, and we should get a key right there, which we'll go ahead and put the key in the kitchen. And we'll go ahead and do the kitchen first, because why not? Okay, the first clue we want to do, how do I want to do this? There's a diamond hoe right here, which we will go ahead and right click twice on this dirt block over here. That'll make sense in a little bit. Let's do the color flower puzzle first. You can see there's a red, blue, and pink flower. We can't get the blue flower just yet, but we can get the red and the pink, which are over here in this kitchen. So if we get this red poppy and the cherry sapling, we can go ahead and place these in the corresponding pots. Boop, boop, and you can hear the pistons firing above. And then we'll go ahead and do the potion puzzle next, actually. So over here in these 3 chests are clues. You can see it's the setup of the blocks, just a bookshelf, a loom, bookshelf, and then the bamboo blocks below. And then there's a hint. It shows two red potions with the banners, and these 2 slots are green. You'll see it will make sense in just a second if we walk over here. There's some potions in here. We get the 2 potions, and these are the green slots it's talking about. So 2 potions right there in that slot, and you can hear the piston fire. And then we've got 1 green potion in the middle slot, and then 1 green potion in the top right slot. And this is corresponding to the spots of the, whatever they're called, brewing stands. So green middle, gray top right. So if we get this on that, we can go right there, and like so. And that should give us 3 string and a stick. If we go into this crafting barrel right here, you can see there's already the start of a recipe for a fishing rod. So if we craft that, we get a fishing rod. And a neat feature, after you're done with the barrels, the clue barrels, they do become locked, so you can't use them anymore. Over here, this sign says no fishing allowed, and this is where we'll get the blue flower. Because if we go ahead and fish, we get a blue flower. And then we get gold in this one, and bone meal in this one. Woohoo! If we go over here and craft the gold, or burn it, we get 6 gold nuggets, and in this crafting barrel right here, you can see this is the recipe for a golden carrot. Let's put the blue flower in there, and then we get wheat seeds. I'm going through this very quickly, but that's just because I know this video is going to be long, so sorry, but not sorry. Anyways, we'll plant the wheat seeds, we'll grow it, and all of a sudden we'll get a carrot from wheat somehow. How does that work? I'm not totally sure. But then from there, we'll go ahead and craft the golden carrot. And there we go. We got Thumper's Food, which is 1 of 3 rooms solved. You can see these items are very special. They're glowing, and they've got special orange names. We'll use them later. Let's go to the next room, though, which is the library. And in the library, there's these lecterns with haikus in them. Brick, or is it stick? A name to distract, maybe, or a key to open. So that's the first clue. This one, and that's, actually, I'll do the first clue since it tells us about the brick. The brick is the name of this key right here, which, if you use brick, these chests are originally locked, but you go on like a little key, a key treasure hunt, where the corresponding keys unlock the corresponding barrels. I can't remember where this one actually goes. Is it this barrel? This one, over here. And then we get apathy. They do actually spell it something. It just says Brianna, and that's just like a little fun thing. But there we go. There's the last key. Okay, this key is important. We will take this into a hidden painting section. Whoa! And behind the hidden painting section, a hidden wall section that when you flick that lever, it opens up over here. And then another hidden vault section behind that. That's like hidingception. So fancy. Anyways, this key unlocks this barrel. If we put this in here, you can see redstone lamp glows, and that's 1 of 3 clues done for this section. The next section I'll do is very, very simple. It is this lectern over here, hidden in plain sight. 1, 2, 3 digits I see. Read between the lines. If we look over here, it is 2, 3, 8 hidden in the bookshelves, and you can't take these. because otherwise that would ruin the clue. So it's just 2, 3, 8. It's a simple 3-digit combination, and if we do that, they all glow because you got it. Good job. All right, and then the last one is the simplest one. Well, no, it's not actually. I don't know why I said that. I'm a liar. I'm a liar. Anyways, it's banner clues on how to create a key banner hidden on the signs. The first one says a blue banner. So I think the blue banners are here. We're gonna need some white dye, and we're gonna need some blue dye in order to create this banner. And over here, I've got a very, very helpful thing. If you go into your crafting recipe, you shouldn't be able to craft stuff, but you can. That's odd. Anyways, it doesn't matter. If you throw this stuff into this dye vat right here, you will get dyes back in return. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some white dye and some blue dye, and then we're gonna start following the recipe. So you can see 1 over here was to get the blue banner. We got that. 2 is in here. It is a white field masoned, which I believe is the brick pattern. I might struggle a little bit on this because I don't know the pattern names by name. Number 3 is a blue fess. What is that? Just a blue fess? Okay. So, and you can use any loom too. Blue fess is, that's blue pale. That's a blue fess, the line in the middle. Number 4 is white pale. I kind of have this memorized, but I really don't. So, you know, white pale. It's been a while since I've done this. Number 5 is blue pale dexter. Let's see, blue pale dexter is the left blue, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right, and then after blue pale dexter is number 6, which is white chief, which is the top white one. Let's see if I'm right. I had to create this banner pattern so many times, I've just kind of got it. And then the last is 7 blue border indented, which is this one right here. And you can see we've got a fancy looking blue key banner pattern now. Let me organize my inventory. If we go in here, it says in this barrel right here, insert banner key right here. We do that, and we get a blue banner that can be placed on polished diorite. That's the 3rd key. And voila, the vault opens. Ah, so crazy. 2 of 3 rooms solved. We get the 3rd of 4 very important things, Bree's letter. And let's go ahead and solve the final room after I stop running into that ladder over there. Over here. Oh, whoa, that was weird lag. It just that was strange. Okay, over here is the painting room. I'm so excited for this one for some reason. Not really, kind of excited. Okay, so our first clue that we're gonna go according to is the blue and white stained glass. I'm gonna write this down so I remember because there's an order, but there's blue, white, white, blue, blue, white, blue. If we just go according to yes, this will make sense. This shows us a path to take, because if we go into the closet where we keep all our dyes and everything, there is a hidden passage with 2 options, blue and white. So the first one is blue, and then we got to crawl through all this. And the next one is white, white, blue, blue. So yeah, we start crawling. You could grind this out if you really wanted to. You could like trial and error this thing, but that's kind of why I made it the crawling section. It's nice if you know the pattern so that you just have to do it once instead of grinding it out, because who wants to grind crawling through pipes out? I sure as heck do not. If you mess up, it takes you to like another pipe that just sends you back home. Without the essential piece, the essential clue that you get from solving this puzzle. So the last one is this blue though. I know it's actually cyan, but you know, it's blue-green, it works. If we press that button, we teleport over here and we get a canvas, which I will show you where to put the canvas, because over here we have a clue on the setup on how an artist would set up. We got a canvas right there, and you can see we got the exact same station right here, so we'll put the canvas there. The next thing we need is lime dye, or green paint as it will be called, and over here we can get some raw ingredients, bones, and a cactus. If we go over here and smelt the cactus, you will just get 1 green dye. You can get multiple if you space them out between, and then we get bones, a bone crusher, and crush bones to get bone meal, which we can throw in here to get white dye. And then if we throw white dye and green dye into there together, we get green paint. How about that? So fancy, so cool. The last thing we need is the lever, which is also known as the paintbrush. And that's actually going to be this puzzle in this closet. You could see earlier we walked past these colored signs. Each of these correlate to a spot and a block. So yellow has a cauldron sitting on top of it. If we go to the yellow section, you can see there's the letter C right there. If we go back out, there's blue with the decorated pot, which is the letter D. And then we got magenta armor stand, red chest. Okay, so then a red chest is the letter C, and a magenta armor stand is the letter A. That should give us a paintbrush, which we'll go ahead and stick that on this table, and we get a woodland portrait. So now we got 4 clues. Well done, player. For your final clue, here is a haiku, because I love those for some reason. 4 rooms, 4 items, specially and uniquely. Place them carefully. So All around this room are 4 item frames, and you just got to figure out, just using deductive reasoning, where to put stuff. Thumper's food, reference into a rabbit and carrot, will go to Thumper. A missing cap will be placed in this armor stand in this closet, and then Bree's letter will be placed by the bookshelves over here, and then a wooden portrait will be placed next to a painting. Voila! And well done, player. You've completed Brianna's escape room. However, from here, this map will serve little use until the end. But this map will be of use one day. Go to the hidden vault once more and a new clue will be unlocked. Have fun with the rest of this ARG. I'll see you one day soon. And then my game mode's been updated to creative, and you can see, look, a hidden secret behind the secret painting, behind the secret door, behind the secret vault door. It's like, it's seriously secretception. It's crazy. Over here are 4 names: Brianna, Catherine, Laura, and the girl, which, lovely name for her. All right, so we will come back to this, but right now, like the clue said, we're done with this ARG for the time being. So let's move back to the Google Docs form. I just went back to my previous recording and you definitely couldn't hear me. My ears are kind of getting destroyed, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with it, and we're gonna look back at the Google Docs form right now. So the Google Docs form, looking all beautiful, it gives us a haiku, the passwords you seek, the very, very first clue. Do not overthink. So there is a clue also in the book that I didn't show before because I was just kind of scrolling through it very quickly. But on page 27, because page 10, first of all, had the 2 links, page 27, the second part of the clue from the Discord, will be this. Cropping is a way, transparency another. Images, you see. A clue by YoMeister238. And that's in reference to the images of this over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of every single one of these photos. And I'm gonna start over here actually so I don't forget which ones I've started off with. But it's basically talking about a little image manipulation where you can either crop images by cutting off the edges and lining them up, or you can go ahead and change the transparency, which I don't recommend. I think cropping is much easier, but let's get a screenshot of these last one right here, and I'll get my screenshots open in a program called Krita. Really, any art software will work as long as you can crop and cut pictures, but I will go ahead right over here. That's where the screenshots are on my desktop, and start implementing them into this art program that I use. I use Krita because I'm too cheap to get Photoshop, even though I am a graphic designer and Photoshop is kind of my life. But, you know, previous employers, or like, you know, future employers, previous employers always give me access to it. Same with my university, so I'll just wait for that. But you can see we got 7 images, and right now we're going to go ahead and start cropping them or just cutting them. You can see this is the letter N right there. Go ahead and put you there. Let's crop background number 2, which is the letter I. You can sort of see it in the background. It's kind of hard to make out sometimes, but that's okay. We got that right there. This background is the letter A. So let's cut all that away. And as we continue to crop these photos, another A, look at that, beautiful. As we continue to crop these letters, a word will come out. Oops, I deleted the whole thing. Let's go into this one, it's the letter R. All I'm doing is taking away the backgrounds too of background images. I'm just trying to do it in a fast and efficient way so you guys can actually see. Is that? I need to crop this more. There we go. And then that one is the letter N. It's kind of hard to see. And then if we crop the letter N right here, we should get the letter B. So now if I try to organize these guys, which is gonna be not fun to do because of the way I set it up, you can kind of see what it spells. I'll zoom in very close. We got the letter B, R, I, A. This is I, that's A with my mouse, you can see. We got the letter N, very hard to see because of the way I've done this very quickly, N, A, which spells the word Brianna, and that's the word I showed in the very beginning. If we go onto our Google Docs, we don't need these screenshots anymore, and type in Brianna, because it's the Brie of my dreams ARG. We'll go into the next clue, which says hush, or sounds so frequently, hush, hush, whisper quietly, 1, 2, 3, 7. You can see once again, there was the answer, my dream. But if we go into Minecraft, and once again, I'll turn my music and sounds. Nope, it is already up. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, you guys won't be able to hear me over this, but that's okay. We just gotta play these buttons in order, and at the very end of each audio recording, we will hear a letter. M. There was the letter M. And then if we go in front of here, do our little dance. Y. Y. Oop. If we go up. M, Y, N. Guess what? If we do this one, it's going to be D, R, E, A, M. My dream. The Brie of my dreams. So I'm not going to go ahead and go through all this. You can do that if you would like to hear each sound clip individually. Again, that is your own prerogative, but let's go ahead and go into the Google Doc form, which if we do, and we go ahead and type in my dream and press next, you can see, nicely done. You've completed the first of many sections to come, specifically 16 sections. That's just one of 16. We'll go ahead and we get 2 links. One to this media file which says clue 1 of 16. I'll go ahead and download that. And this is why earlier I created a folder. Let me go out of this and into my downloads folder. Whoa, I'm all over the place. This is why I created this clues 1 of 16. These clues will come in use at the end, but right now they're not really that useful. So, and this one right here takes us to the next Minecraft 2 of 4 sections right here, which we will be displaying an image. If we click on this link, this will open up an image right here. I'm going to go ahead and download this. How do you download on Imgur? So that way I can zoom in and show you guys a little bit clearer quality what it's saying. If we zoom in on it, whoop, like that, it says use my name MC find me. The 3s are just kind of put in there for no reason. They don't actually serve a purpose, but it's talking about name MC. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, showed a weird girl's broken face. Name MC, let's go on to that. Please check your device's clock. It seems to be set to the wrong date or time. I know I did that on purpose. Oh, hold up one second. The reason I have my internet like that is because if you look in the bottom right now it says it's 11:01 a.m. when in reality it's 1 p.m. in my time. I don't know what's up with that. My computer's jank. Anyways, if we click onto the skin right here, you can see this is the broken girl face. We'll go ahead and download that skin. I don't know why name MC has to be that way and be so difficult, but that's okay. You know, that's fine. All right, we're gonna go into a Minecraft skin maker website now. I don't know exactly what now, so we can upload the skin. And look at that, you can see I already actually did that when I was doing my practice round on this. Anyways, if we go onto the skin, this is our next clue. You can see it says red, green, yellow, blue, left to right chronological order or reading order. And if we do that, there's words on the skin that says the fracture of reality. So that's our clue, is the fracture of reality that we get from that skin. If we go into here and go into this book, you can see, oh my gosh, the fracture of reality by me, Yo Mikester238. There's my little Yo Mikester guy on the back. Amazing. So this is the next clue, and you can see right here we've actually got 2 Imgur links right down here. We've got one that will lead us to a picture of another section of the broken face, and we've got this one down right here as well that will lead us to this, which is a clue that we need. Let me go ahead and download this image and download this image. Let's specifically look at this one first though, because what this is it says the Fracture of Reality chapter 1. You can see it's a clue about the book that we literally just clicked on. If you click onto this book, you get a sample reading of this right here that I think it gives you like the first couple pages. But what this clue is showcasing is that there's a piece of paper right here hidden over with cut out spots, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take a snippet of this so that we can apply that paper in Photoshop or Krita, as I'm gonna do. Why are you not working snipping tool? Stop giving me issues. What is this? I'm running into a lot of problems today for some reason, but that's okay. That's okay, we'll work with them. Anyways, if we take a snippet of this, I'm gonna save this as a capture in my downloads folder right here. We can go ahead and overlay these 2 files, which I'll show you how to do in Krita. And then from there, we'll get the answer to this clue over here, what that blank spot is. So I'm gonna open up Krita, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up the files that I just got, which is not this one, this is one of them. I'll just open all of them because I don't know what they are named. There's that, and there we go. That was what we needed, not the skin. We can get rid of that. This right here. So I'm gonna copy this, okay? And I'm gonna paste it over what already exists as the actual chapter 1, and I'm going to change the transparency so I can line this up. So I'm going to move this file so that it lines up perfectly like that, and change the opacity back to 100%. And I'm going to go ahead and crop out these spots because when we do, they give us words. It should say solution to my problem was, you ready for this? Nightmares. Just nightmare. And that's how you unlock the next section of this clue, which is so cool. I'm going to keep these up here because we're actually going to need this in a second. But if we go back to the Google Docs, we can close out of this and this and that as well, I think. You can see the answer is nightmare. The answer just keeps appearing, and I keep forgetting that it's going to appear, but it's going to keep doing that. You can see the next one is the Brie of my dreams, but I'll show how we got to that. If we go onto these Imgurs right here, this one, along with this one as well, you can see we were given 2 more pieces of the face. So I'm going to go ahead and download that image. And then I'm going to go ahead and download this image as well. And we're going to upload them into Krita, the program that I'm using right now. Which, if we get that one, we already have that one. I'm just going to open them all up again and then cut out the ones I don't need. This is the problem with not knowing what the file names are, because then you get the wrong file. And this is why I always try to stay organized, but you know, it's all good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy this piece of her face and put it on her main face, and look at that, fits perfectly. How about that? I'm going to copy this piece of her face and then put it right there. Boop. And then this one is the only tricky one because it's actually a fragmented piece of her face. And it's a bit of a puzzle, but if you use transform and select tools, which I'm going to be doing, you can go ahead and kind of piece her face back together like surgery. It's a surgery of Brianna's face. I don't know how she would feel about that, but maybe she would feel great because I am plastic surgeon doing her favor. Okay, if we get this piece and bring it up there, just like that. And then we get this last piece right here. I believe we want it to be like this right here. There we go, perfect. And now I'm gonna go ahead and copy this whole section of her face and piece it into the puzzle, which it should fit just like that. It's kind of blurry, but I know the answer, and if you do it more smoothly, then it's okay. If you zoom out, it's actually more legible. Anyways, I'm gonna bring up a notepad so I can go ahead and start piecing together this clue for you guys, which for some reason, every time I click on an application, it makes me click on the icon. That's so odd. Anyways, this will be my notepad of solving. He is my helpful friend named Fred. The notepad. Okay, if we look at the clue, we can see there are 3 numbers. So the first number is BRETH. So BRETH. This is like a little bit of an unscrambling puzzle. Number 2 is FOIM. So to foim. And then number 3 is MREADYS. So Mr. Edie's, I think. Something like that. So this is a bit of unscrambling, which is basically saying take these letters, right, and put them in a sentence and then unscramble me. And if you do, you'll go ahead and get Brie with, or no, it's the, so THE, Brie of my dreams. It's a lot more complex to unscramble it, but since I know the answer, it kind of helps. But if we go ahead and unspace all of this and just copy this right here from this clue, cancel. I want to keep Krita open. And we go back to the Google Forms. We can enter the Brie of my dreams to go on to the next section. Section 3 of 4, or 2 of 4. No, it is 3 of 4, but we need to download clue 2 of 16 first, which I'll go ahead and do right now. And then we can put clue 2 of 16 into the 16 clues. We now have 2 of 16 clues already done. And I'm going to take all this junk and put this into our already used clues folder. And then we'll go ahead and go on to the next Google Docs. I tried to stay as organized as I could for this. I tried. Okay, so section 3 of 4 is wherever could she be? This is a bit of a lengthy thing, but I'll read it for you guys. Wherever could she be? A land near or far from me? I search and I seek every day, every week. Yet no closer am I, though I continue to try. I tried and tried, always in vain, but the answer I know only you can obtain. The fracture of reality, a prologue, a finality. Describe her home, her comfort, her manner, and this will surely give you the answer. The 8 best hikes, with description of the likes. A state far northwest, purple flowers of the blessed. This is the answer you need, the one I was never guaranteed. So, it's a bit of a poem, a beautiful poem I add, and we get a link right here. You guys won't be able to edit this, but I can because I'm the owner of the document. This is the full Fracture of Reality book that I published, which you guys can read if you would like. And what the clue is basically saying to do is, if we go right here, it says to go to the prologue. Where does it say that exactly? It says somewhere in here, a prologue of finality, describe her home, her comfort, her manner, and we get 8 best hikes, description of the likes, state far northwest. So using all of this information, we'll take a little bit of the description of what this looks like, which after reading through, it's just rolling hills, lots of flowers, mountain-like scenery. Okay, so we've got that in mind, and now we're going to take the most important clues. A star state, cannot talk right now. A state far northwest. This is referring to the state of Washington, the farthest northwest state in the United States. So I'm going to type into Washington. And then it says purple flowers of the blessed. Okay, that's another description. It says 8 best hikes. That's another clue key. Washington 8 best hikes, which we will go ahead and type that in. And if we start scrolling down, I might click on images to see if I can find it. And here you can see Washington has some very scenic parks, okay? Still not coming up, so let's type in rolling hills. Let's see if that makes it come up. 28 best hikes in Washington. What am I doing? The answer is Washington. I forgot, because what you're supposed to find is the place where it actually happens. That's what this is all talking about. This is probably one of the hardest clues in there, but you can see if we just type in Washington, this state, this clue eventually just leads you to it, which is a state far northwest. If you start typing in states, that's the answer. You'll go ahead and get Washington, and this will move you on to the next section, which is, this gives you a clue, one of the 16 clues. We'll go ahead and download this image, and then we'll go ahead and title that as well as clue, I think this is 3 of 16. Yeah, that's one of the hardest ones to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if people got stumped on that, because I did not set that up very nicely. And this one is the Brie of My Dreams Cottage, a zip file, which is another Minecraft zip folder. So this is the next clue. This is part 4 of the sections, part 4 of 4 of the Brie of My Dreams Minecraft 3 of 4 sections. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in a folder, and we'll start on that. Alrighty, so here we are back in Minecraft, and we're going to go to the Brie of My Dreams Cottage. That way, we can start the next clue, section 4 of 4. And here we are in this world. We spawn in with this book right here that says, Ian never strayed too far from his cottage. This is in reference to the character that you would have learned about from reading the Fracture of Reality, at least the prologue. Perhaps if one could see his path from very high above, possibly on that of a scale of a map, it would only be a fair distance away. So we are supposed to be Ian in this circumstance. You can see we've got a boat pointing in this direction. But what I'm referencing to you is what program I'm talking about is actually MCA Selector, which for some reason I have to click on the application just like that. What MCA Selector is it's a map where you can delete and reorient chunks in Minecraft. So we're actually going to use this, open up the world file, which is the Brie of My Dreams Cottage. And if we do that and zoom out, you can see it shows all the land that Ian has already explored. Over here, if we scroll far in, we can start looking around, and this is the village that we start off in. Actually, scratch that. This is where we're at right now. You are here. And if we scroll around this map and look around, you can see this weird ghost chunk of a village that I deleted. And in this top right corner, right over here, is a little build. It's very hard to find, but it gives us coordinates in the bottom left corner of the MCA selector saying it's at 710, negative 350. So 710, tilde, negative 350, and that reveals where the cottage is for us, and that is, I believe, this way. I believe it's northeast. So I'm going to go ahead and start journeying over there, and just fast forward through this so that you don't have to you don't have to do the journey with me. Aha, and there you can see the cottage in the distance. You guys might be thinking to yourself, Mike, why the heck did you actually run all the way over there and not use a teleport command like I did? Because that's so much time wasted running. Well, I think the seed is incredibly scenic, and I think Ian and Brianna, their cottage, isn't like the most beautiful spot, so I thought I would take a luxury scroll, and I got some flowers along the way too, which is great. I've named each of my flowers. This is Robert for Rose, Daisy for Dandelion, which makes no sense, and then we got Owen for the orange tulip, and Sarah for the sunflower. I totally didn't just make those up on the spot, I promise. But anyways, up ahead, ooh, a baby chicken. Hatch? No hatching. Up ahead, you can see, here we are, at Brie and Ian's cottage. And this is where the clue resides, where the clue hides, where the next part of this section can be solved. I'm gonna put all my flowers up there. Okay, if we go into their cottage and open up this door, you can see we get a letter, Ian's journal entry, okay? It's journal entry number 248. I can't shake the feeling I've mentioned in prior days. Brianna doesn't know. I should tell her, but every time I try, I feel so silly for even thinking it. The idea of this reality in which I live being fake? See, writing it down has helped clear my mind. It's absolute nonsense. Oh, I hope Brianna never sees these ridiculous thoughts. A couple weeks pass. Journal entry 267. The feeling keeps coming back. It's so aggravating. It wakes me in the middle of the night. It keeps me on these long strolls far from the one I love, and it haunts my every thought. Nothing I do feels right, and even if it is a silly idea, I need to figure it out. How would I even test if where I live is real, though? Is there truly a way to determine the truth? I think it's time I start to figure this all out. But Bree can't know. And then this is the next day. I've spent all day thinking and I have an idea. There's a field of tall pink flowers a little ways west of Bree and my cottage. It's been so long since I brought her some of those wonderful smelling plants. My idea, my genius thought, is that the smell of those flowers, the vibrant aroma, can't be faked. And I'll go and check. It'll also surprise the love of my life with some wonderful flowers. A win-win idea. Win-win idea indeed, my friend. So, we're gonna go down this journey, and I'm gonna read Ian's journals, his private entries, because, you know, I want to intrude on his thoughts, I guess. And we're gonna solve this puzzle, this ARG. He said to go west, and that's the way we're going right now. My better F3 menu has been replaced by this hideous, disgusting gray menu. I gotta get that fixed. But over there, you can see a tall field of pink peonies, and we have another book. Let us read, shall we? It says, Journal entry 269. I have found the flowers, and what a wondrous creation. There's little doubt in my mind that this here, there's no way at all it could be faked. And yet my mind still needs more convincing. Why? Oh, why? And this is a couple days later. Aha! I have a far more convincing idea. The mountains that loom further west, with a view so high, I'll have an incredible view of the world we live in. There's no chance I won't quench my doubts with this. The only problem is, it's quite a journey away. My sweet, sweet Bree, do not worry. I will be back soon with as sturdy a mind as I've ever had before. So, now we gotta go to the mountains, just further west, and once again, I'll speed up the process for you so that you don't have to watch a 2 day long video. We are approaching the top of this beautiful mountain, and you guys might be wondering, why, Mike, are you not going into creative mode? Well, this genius named Mike, made a global command block hidden somewhere that always puts your game mode to survival so that you can't, but at least it's survival, so you can break blocks if you get stuck in a section like that. But here we are on top. I'm telling you guys what, if I do create like SMP or ever do anything like that again, this right here, this is the seed that I'm using because, oh man, look at it. Look at how pretty this is with the sunset and everything. This is just incredible. But you're not here for my talks about my SMPs. No, you are here for my tutorial on how to beat the Bree of my dreams, ARG. Here we are on top of the peak. Just look at that view though. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, journal entry 274. It's been a few weeks. This trip has been much more perilous than I first thought. Here I am though. The view is breathtaking. Nothing like this could ever be replicated. Yet, a peculiar thing I've noticed is my mind playing tricks. The sun, it hasn't set, but it's never set before. The weather, it hasn't changed, though weeks have gone by. No, months. But the weather has never changed before. Here I sit on top of the clouds, and yet my mind still hasn't settled. I need a eureka, an epiphany of sorts, something that will truly settle my mind. Truly settle my mind. A couple days go by. Dare I say I've come up with a solution. I've racked my brain, and I remember a small detail from my past, though the details of who I used to be are very hard to come by. Years ago, Brianna had an amazing idea. She, as well as I, struggled to recall memories, so we buried a time capsule of sorts right behind our cottage. It was something to remember all the beautiful moments we spent together. Who would have thought? The answer to my delusions resides at my home. It's time to head back to see my incredible wife and to solve this mystery for good. Do not worry, Bree. I'm on my way home, and then we'll go on the way home. I was nice enough to include no fall damage, so that's great. That could have been very, very bad. I almost forgot to bring flowers back for Bree, the Bree of my dreams, for Ian's Bree. Could you imagine what she would have done? There was no flowers. Look at that. All right, anyways, he talks about how it's buried in the back, and that was purely by accident. I found that on the first try. Wow. Okay, Ian's journal. A few weeks go by. I don't understand. I found the container for our time capsule, yet there was nothing inside. I asked Bree about it, and she doesn't remember creating one. My thoughts continue to shatter, and my confidence has been deeply shaken. Aside from this, on my way home from the mountain, I fell a substantial distance, enough to have easily perished from the fall. Yet I remained unscathed. Under normal circumstances, I would think I was a hero. I'd have a hearty laugh, an incredible story to tell my Bree, but it would have been a story so amazing, it could have been thought to have been faked. My thoughts in the unknown, oh, this is still the same way. My thoughts in the unknown are beginning to consume my being. Brianna has taken notice and is concerned, but I'll continue onwards with my experiments in hopes of finalizing a solution. A few weeks have passed 298, and an idea has finally come to me. I might have one more if this proves to fail, but first, I'll write my idea here. Very nearby, south of my cottage, is a watery tunnel into a deep, dark cave. I've been only a few times, for the danger is pretty intense, but I remember once wandering down below and seeing a great light come from the depths. A great light in a deep, dark cave sounds like a fantasy. I will find the light and see where it is coming from. This idea might be a bit of a stretch, but it's far more inviting than my final idea, so downwards and onwards I go, which is south, and I'll just keep, I won't speed up this section because it's like right over here. If you just jump on down south, look at this, we're taking tons of lethal falls. Isn't that crazy? All right, this is the cave he talks about, and if we jump down here, you can see a great light coming from below. He didn't really journey that far down, did he? But if we jump up here, and then voila, jump inside, there's a book by Ian. Journal entry 304. Here I stand, astonished. The light I see, it emanates from nowhere. It makes no sense. Along with this, I was looking for my prior notes, my other journal entries I keep on a daily basis, yet none of them could be found. It doesn't make sense, but the comforting part to all this is I have one final idea. I haven't needed it yet because it would have been pointlessly dangerous, but I feel confident that this will only end in a resolution, a finish, a conclusion to the story. My final idea is a cliff near my house. I'll jump off. Now, jumping off a cliff is an insane idea at first glance, but I've fallen off mountains and been okay. This time, I will drop a very great height, and I shall find conclusive answers. Before I go, I still know there's a risk, so of course, I'll spend the next few days every moment with my beautiful wife and cherish them. But when I know for absolute certainty that I can do these amazing feats without getting hurt, my Bree will be amazed. I'm so excited to show her. Here goes to the ultimate, most exciting test of all. I love you so much, Bree, and can't wait to show you this crazy world we live in. Very crazy world we live in indeed. So he talks about going and jumping off the cliff at the base of the house. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the cliff at the base of the house that he jumps off, which is right over here. And you can see there's this. And this is where the story, it gets a little sad. I'm not going to lie, it gets a little sad. Inside, we can see a decorated pot with a flower. And we see this book. And it says, "My dearest Ian. Dearest Ian, I wish you had only told me. If only I had known, I could have assured you, I could have helped. Rest in peace, my love. I will miss you till eternity reunites us both. Love, Brianna." So then we get this click me reality post. If we click on that, we get taken to Minecraft part 404, and you can see the answer is reality. And we press next. And what this does is this gives us another clue. This is for the 16 clues. It's a very sad ending. But at the same time, if you read The Fracture of Reality, the actual book, if you ever get a chance, get around to it, you'll find out that not all, it's not as simple as it seems. You'll see. Okay, but let me go ahead and create my clue 4 of 16, which is this right here, filled map, a command, or blah, 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 I don't care. Let's go up here, and there's another thing. There is this right here, and this is our first, the Bree of My Dreams Key 1 resource pack. Okay, so now we've got our resource pack, which I'll go ahead and I'll stick on, or at least I won't put it on yet, but I'll have it in my resource packs folder for just a little bit. And then there is this Google Docs right here, which is a link to the Company of Myself, 1 of 4. So we've just completed the Minecraft section, and now we're gonna go into the Company of Myself section. All right, so the first clue that we have for the Company of Myself, part 1 of 4, is this. I used to find joy in the company of others. Now I have only the blank of myself. Okay, and we're going to take that phrase and copy and paste it into Google, which is probably not going to give us the actual answer. That's because it doesn't. But what I'm also going to do is, because we have another clue from this Google Doc, which is the Company of Myself. So I'm also going to type in this right here, the Company of Myself. And this should pull us up to a video game TV tropes page or a Wikipedia. You can find this through multiple ways. But I'm going to Control F, which is to find the phrase. And the phrase is, what does the phrase say? I used to find joy I used to find joy. Well, let's see where it says. Why is it not showing me? Oh, there we go. I used to find joy in the company of others. Now I only have the company of myself. You can see right here, the Company of Myself, which we've already got it typed down in this Google Docs. If we press next, this takes us on to the next section. And this is, are you really? Question mark. The correct answer to that is leaving, but let's show how we got there, which I'm actually going to go ahead and go onto YouTube to do that. The way you're really supposed to do this, and I don't know, let me actually find a different video with a bit better quality. There we go. The way you're supposed to actually do this is actually play the game and go through the entire game to get to the very end. For the sake of this tutorial, since I've already been recording for 50 minutes and we're nowhere close to done, I figured I'd go ahead and just find tutorials on YouTube. And right here at the final level before you complete this game says, are you really leaving? So that's how we get the answer, leaving. All in lowercase. If we enter that in, we go on to the next section, which this will give us, let's see, a clue. And this is part of the 16 clues that we continue to get every single time we go by. So I'll go ahead to my downloads. And this is clue, I believe it's 5 of 16. I'll put that in my folder. And we also got, let's see what else we got. What other goodies do we have? Just the link to the next platform, which is the company and myself 2 of 4. That was a really, really short part, but if you play the actual game, the company and myself, then it takes a little bit longer. For this, we've got an imgur link, as always, and you can see it is a section, a fraction of a letter. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open that up in Krita. I don't know why I say it like that. And we're going to zoom in and look around for some clues, which immediately I actually see some clues right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of symbols. So if you look at it and start looking for deciphers online, you'll eventually find that it's actually Braille. So Braille chart is what we need. Braille chart, so we can see what these letters are. And I'll go ahead and just copy this image and then insert it in here as well so that we can see it right next to it. There we go. This chart's actually kind of big. Let's shrink that down so that we can use this to decipher what this says right here. So if we go down, we got 2 dots kind of forming an upside down L. And right there you can see the letter F has that, so that's the letter F. Then we're going to get this kind of Tetris looking piece, which is the letter R. We've got these 2 diagonal dots, which is the letter E. And then this L with a missing dot right here is the letter, let's see, U. And then the final one, this upside down L again in that shape, is the letter D, which when it all is all spelled out, it says the word Freud, also known as the, what was he? I'm trying to think of the word, and I can't think of it right now, but the answer is Freud for this section, if we type that in. He was a philosopher, I guess. So we get on to the next clue, which gives us this second piece of the letter. We'll go ahead and take that, and we'll also open that into Krita as well, which I just opened the same one. File management, man. How important is it? Okay, so if we take that, and we're actually going to go ahead and organize this because these are pieces of notes. So we want to make sure that we're piecing together this letter as we go along. There we go. So on this one, you can see there are quite a few random symbols, but then there's words, and then there's this dash line right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters long. But we get the words therapist, doctor, psychologist, that's what Freud is, he's a psychologist, and clinical. If we look at these words, what we end up finding is that they're all synonyms. And if we start looking for like-handed synonyms, we'll eventually find the word shrink. Another word for a psychiatrist or a psychologist, that's what I meant to say, is a shrink. So if we type that in, we go into the next clue. We get another imgur link, which I'll go ahead and download and then stick into Krita. I don't know why I keep saying Krita like that. I've never done that before, but that's okay. We'll copy this and we'll paste it into here, into this piece of the letter right here as well. Letter is starting to come together. And on here, we've got clues. So it says word 1 plus word 2, which is in reference to actually these 2 clues right here, which was the word Freud and shrink. If we type that in, there's another clue on this Krita page right down here that says Dan Caddison. So Dan Caddison is what we're going to be looking for as we click on these links. And the second one down, this New York Post right here, if we click on there and stay at the top because there are inappropriate ads below. What is this? Continue without supporting us. Yes, please. I don't want to support you. Let me go ahead. I'm going to zoom in on this right here because this is going to be very, very important. So this is the article. And what we're going to do is we're going to need to decipher letters and numbers. Right here you can see there are 2 lines. One, this is what it's referring to, the numbers. A line number, number, word number, and then the letter of that word. So if we look at this, and I give you the first letter just to make sure you're on the right track. Since it's on line 2, word 7, 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the letter F is 1. So you can see that's already putting us on track. So we know the first letter is the letter F. And then from there, if we just keep deciphering it, it says 593. We will go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, line 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3 is the letter I. So as long as you keep doing this, the third letter, it says is X, you will get the word fixation, just like that. And when you do, you can press enter, and you know what it does? It gives you a link to another imgur. Let me make sure. Okay, good. We can go ahead and download this image as well, and then we'll go into Krita, and we'll go ahead and put this in. So click on this, copy, paste, put this letter into this letter right here, and there we go. Now we can read the letter, and we also get another clue, which says, try to forget about your problems for a blank Henry. That's the clue. Let's go ahead and read this letter. Dear Jack, which is the name of the protagonist and the company and myself. I'm writing this letter here today, for I worry about you, or for I worry you might forget. If you ever do, which God forbid you do, you can find me and remember me at Fixation. Fixation is my origin, the story of how we met. I love you very much. Love, Catherine. So now we know that Fixation is actually, I'll go on YouTube for this too, but Fixation is the name of the game that Catherine is introduced. So that we don't have to play the game, because the game is about like an hour long if you play it correctly, I'm going to go ahead and go into a tutorial. It's kind of blurry, but that's okay. We just need answers. All right, the very, very start of the game, this fades in right here. And there a man says, wow, this quality's bad. I'll read it for you. It says, try to forget about your problems for a second. If we go back here, or back to the Krita clue, it says, try to forget about your problems for a, and the word is second. That's the answer to this part of the ARG. And you can see, I believe this is section 2 complete, because right here, we get another clue, and this is part of the 16 clues that we have been slowly building up that will eventually make sense as to why we have them. Wow, I got so many files open. I'm sorry about the confusing nature of that. But this is the imgur. Oh, great. Oh, great. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the clue. This is clue... I want to say this is 6 of 16. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clues so far. Yes, we do. Let's go. Making progress with this thing, man. Already used these clues. And let's go back to Google Docs to see what else we've got. We've also got a link to the company and myself, 3 of 4. So here we get a bit of a haiku. I just kept resorting back to haikus when making this ARG. I'm not totally sure why, but that's okay. And what this is actually a description of each of the characters that come into Fixation as you get introduced. Fire-filled passion, magenta colored nicely, lover of Jack. That is Catherine, the main character, or Jack's wife. Let's make sure that each time, because we're going to get imgur links each little puzzle that we solve, each haiku. So we'll download that, we'll type this, and we'll get the next clue. Wisdom of many years, properly dressed fancily, shrink for a Catherine, which is shrink is also psychiatrist, and that is Henry. We'll go ahead and press next. Sweetness overwhelms, cyan colored, nice and kind, sister of Catherine, that is Penelope. We will go ahead and download this image of Henry, and then type in Penelope's name into the Google Docs. Arrogance clouds him, red and blue, so very cool. Loves Penelope, and this is Thomas. We'll go ahead, as usual, get our link to the imgur, and then type in Thomas's name down there. Kindly yet confused, Black misleads views of himself. Lover of Catherine, and that is Jack. And here's a picture of Thomas. And then we type in Jack, and we go on, and we get another imgur link right here. And this is how you do this clue, because now we've gotten quite a few imgur links. I'll go ahead and show you guys what they all look like when we open them and implement them into the puzzle. So here they all are. We've got this kind of looking family tree. I'm very proud of how this turned out. Took a lot of photo editing to get it that way. And we're going to go ahead and copy these guys and put them in their corresponding spots. So you can see that Jack right there, he lines up pretty nicely with that spot right there. Actually, they all line up very nicely. I did that on purpose. So here is Thomas, and you can see Thomas is on that silhouette right there. We have got Penelope, always crying and always sad. Look at her with her little tears. We'll put her in her spot. Who we got next? We've got Henry, which Henry is just sitting up here alone at the top, but he's an old dude, so he belongs up there. That's how I thought when I was making this ARG. And then we've got Catherine. And as you guys could see, as we were doing this too, as soon as we move the characters to the right spots, the words line up and create a sentence. So we've got the family tree. We've got Penelope and Catherine are sisters. Catherine and Jack are married. Penelope almost married Thomas, then broke up with her, and then there's Henry. All the lore you need from fixation. He understands that she has died, and he certainly feels at least somewhat responsible. But he doesn't recall that he murdered her. She was found buried in their backyard in a blank package. Now this is a reference to the Company of Myself. And if we go back to the Company of Myself solution right here, this is actually stated towards the very end of the tutorial, which let me go back to the one that's better quality for you guys. If we go down here, there it is. He understands that she has died. And this is how you recognize this. After playing through the Company of Myself, you'd recognize this. He certainly feels at least somewhat responsible, but he doesn't recall that he murdered her. She was found buried in the backyard in a green package. So the answer for this is green. When solving this, we get a media fire clue 7 of 16. Man, those clues are stacking up, man. Okay. All the documents in the way. Let's organize this real quick. Clue 7 of 16, and we'll put all the clues that we already used into the already used clues box, so file management is neater. And then we will go to the Company of Myself 4 of 4. This would be like halfway done after this. Exciting, man. It's exciting. So right here, this just says Catherine's death, and the answer is forgive, but I'll show how we get that in a bit of a time lapse because right here, why are you doing that? Let me go ahead, copy this link, and put that in. There we go. For some reason that was clicking on the wrong link. I might have to fix that in the ARG. But I said we would do a time lapse because this is a puzzle, a 50-piece puzzle that I get to do. That's going to take a while. I've done it before. It takes a while. Enjoy this time lapse. That took much longer than I thought it would, and I hope that doesn't go on, I don't know what I was going to say, unappreciated. Yeah, play more puzzles. Wait, no. Hold up. I can't see the screen because of this now. This better not. No. Play more puzzles. No, go back. I can't see the screen now. What am I supposed to do? Hide ads, maybe? No? Oh god. Oh, there we go. I pressed the preview button and I just realized I think you can press that and then not have to do the puzzle at all. That's great, isn't it? That's great. Yeah. Let's type in that link. Okay, when you click on this link, you get this image here. Wow, for you guys, that was like a couple seconds. For me, that was like 20 minutes. That took me a long time. But that's okay. Okay, so we get this image, and if we click on it, if we go into downloads and click on the Imgur and start to zoom in, you'll notice something a little off. First of all, these aren't pixels. This is an AI generated thing. Second of all, there's a very tiny link at the very bottom next to a green box in the photo. I'll go ahead and type in the link to that, but that is in reference to the green box that Catherine was found in. Kind of morbid. But, you know, that's the story. I didn't make that story. Anyways, we get this right here, this post, and it says, I never meant to hurt you. You were always the love of my life. Please forgive me. And that is the answer to this section, which is forgive. And if we press next right here, we will go on to the next section. This is a clue, one of the 16 clues that we have. I got to get my mind reoriented into like recording mode again because... Whew, that puzzle took a long time. Anyways, this is clue 8 of 16. And I'll go ahead and paste that right in there. It's just some coordinates, but that will make sense one day, just not right yet. Along with that, we also get our second resource pack, which I'm going to go ahead and download and put that resource pack on. Or at least, I won't put it on, but I'll just put it in my resource packs folder so that I have it. Now I've got 2 of those resource packs. Whoops, full screen. Whoopsie. That might have been a jump scare. Of files, I don't know. Okay, and along with that, we get a link to Cube Escape 1 and 4. By the end of this, by the time I'm finished with this tutorial, my sanity will be gone. And then I'll probably die on Project Zomboid, a game I've been playing, because my mind won't be focused and zombie will kill me. Anyways, let's go on to Cube Escape 1 of 4, which if we click on it, you can see all the answers are already there. Clear puzzle. Yes, let's do that. Because when you guys click on the link, it won't have all the answers, but I already solved it, so that's why it came up. At least I hope. I hope it doesn't show the answers, because if it does, It's a little embarrassing, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna do this crossword puzzle. 1 down, a 3-dimensional shape with 6 squares or a rectangular side, which is a cube. This is a crossword puzzle that I made. I'm pretty proud of it. Let's do 2 down. In a strange manner, a queerly inscribed sheet of paper. That is oddly. 3 down is a verb, which is just is, because it just says verb. 4 down, particularly baffling problem that is said to have a correct solution. This is what you guys are doing. It's a puzzle. 5 down is fill in the blank. 8 down is one solution of one of the other 2 homophones of 2, so it's 2. And then 9 down is a solution, which is an answer. Let's see if that works. Does it? Yep. Okay, and then 3 across, the branch of engineering that deals with the use of computers and telecommunications to retrieve and store and transmit information, which is IT. 5 across is leave me out of this. Okay, 6 across is as much as necessary, which is enough. 7 across, adverb after an unspecified period of time over or an especially long delay. Eventually, I think is what this one is. It's been a while, but that's right, nice. Number 10, a legal document declaring a person's wishes regarding the disposal of their property when they die. That is their will. And then 11 across is a general conscious awareness is your 6th sense. And then 12, assure the success of a good review by this critic will make your play. So you can see, we have been given all these answers and we get a star, woohoo, a star of happiness and success. And these words will form a sentence if we format them correctly. So let's get our Fred notepad out again. I don't know why his name is Fred, it just is. And we'll write down the words. We've got cube, puzzle, this, it, eventually, and then oddly, sense, make. Okay, so we got, those are all their crosswords or downwards. These are their crosswords. We've got it, this, enough, eventually, will. Oh, I just did those. Whoopsie. I don't know what I did. Oh boy. Oh boy, my mind's confused. Okay, puzzle. We got puzzle. The, oddly, to, answer. So, this is a sentence. My brain hurts. This is a sentence and you just gotta unscramble the words, and if you do, it will say, the answer to this puzzle is oddly enough cube. And then it says, it will, it will make sense eventually. That's what the sentence is supposed to say. Anyways, we get the answer, and the answer is cube, and it will make sense eventually. So if we go ahead and type in cube into this document right here, that's 1 of 4 done. Or maybe it's not. No, we still got some word puzzles. Okay, here we go. We have got a Wordle puzzle that I created, and the correct answer to this is Rusty. Look at this. Oh man, I got that first try. How about that? That's just insane, man. I've never beaten a Wordle first try. But if we get that answer and type it in here, you can see it takes us on to the next one, which is another Wordle puzzle, and this one is lakes. So if you type that in, I got it first try again. Wow, and you can too if you do that and cheat like me. So this one is lakes, and then let's get rid of that. We would get taken to this link right here, which is a picture of this from the Cubescape puzzle. And this is a solution. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to look at these numbers right here. It says mirror. So these are mirrored numbers. This isn't my puzzle, this is Cubescape's puzzle, but I implemented in mine. It's basically 6 times 237, because those are all the mirror numbers. And the answer is 1422. And then you get taken to this custom Imgur link that I made, where it is 6 times 238, because YoMeister238, I thought that would be kind of funny. And the answer to that is 1428. So if we do that, we go on to the next section. Let's go. We get another clue, and this is one of our 16 clues right there, which is a scrambled word. I'll go ahead, create another text document. This is clue 9 of 16. And if we put this in here, I'll unscramble it real quick. Face becomes cafe. Den head is hidden. Teller is letter, and blah, blah, blah is scramble. Cafe, hidden, letter, scramble. Okay, we got that in the back of our minds. Great. Let's go into the next form. And let's also make sure, yep, okay, everything's organized, nice and tidy. Let's go. Okay, next one, we get an Imgur link of, this just says the number 1428. Time to go back to the Discord. If we go into the counting channel once again and we search for the number 1428, you know what we find? We find Metro, who said 1428. And right here, it says in the blue letters, 1428 down 30. So if we go down 30 numbers, we'll find me saying this. Another hidden message in the Discord. You've come far, but you're only halfway there. Only halfway done with this game. For your next clue, find the correlation between these items. 1428, October 27th, and blah, 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 party. Okay, so I'm going to type in 1428, October 27th and see what pops up. 1428, October 27th, the day of my birth. That's, when I get lazy, I just, I put down my birthday for numbers. Okay, so Siege of Orleans. If we click onto that and we scroll down, the last hint was blank party, and you can see our Magnac, I don't know how to actually say that, party is right there. So if we type that in, we go on to the next section of this clue. And here we actually get 2 Imgers. So I'm going to go ahead and actually download these. Let's download this one and let us download this one as well. There we go. We have now got these 2 images, and let me open them up in Krita so we can get a look at them. What they are, and I'll actually have to take a screen capture after this look. This one is a capture of the Wikipedia page that we have just found, and you can see there's blanked out spots with certain symbols written next to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that page that I just clicked off of, and I'm going to take a snippet, which for some reason I have to open it up like this, but that's okay. We're going to take a snippet of, actually not this, hold up. Let's scroll down, because the Krita page shows geography, it shows all of this. Okay, so let's go back on here. Geography. Take a snippet of this and then overlay it over the other page, kind of like we did earlier with one of the clues in one of the puzzles. Let me just make this a capture 02, because I believe that's my second capture I've taken today. And now it will make sense, okay? Okay, I promise this will make sense. Capture 02, we copy this, we paste this, change the transparency, match up the pages, like so, by the pixel, perfect. Opacity up, put this over the top, and voila, look at this. We get symbols. So this is the symbol 1, and it correlates to the letter F. If I delete a little bit more of that, there you go, you can see the letter F. And now this will take us to the second part of our puzzle, which is this thing right here. You can see there are a whole bunch of symbols, and this is an encrypted message. I forget exactly what this is called, but basically its symbols relate to certain letters. It's just an encrypted message. If you find the correlating letters that match with the symbols, you'll create a sentence, and you can figure this out just by trial and error and a few key letters. So this right here, this document gives us a few key letters. For example, F is the number 1. So if we scroll through here, every time we see the number 1, which is right here, we write the letter F, which I might make my brush a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. So that's the letter F. There we go. So then we would keep going through and doing that. Any other number 1s? F, right there. Because the letter F is right there, you can think that this exclamation mark is either I or O, because otherwise it would form the word of, which I'm going to take a guess and say that that's O, which means that this exclamation mark means O. So you see, that's how we would kind of solve this puzzle. And I also give a few other symbols as well, because I'm not a cruel man. Well, I'm kind of cruel, but The letter P, for example, is and, the and sign, which I believe there's only one letter P in this entire thing, and it's right here. I'm a bit of an evil man. Question mark is, I'll read this out for you. Here we go. Question mark is the letter K. Tilde is the letter Y. 8 is the letter C. There's a few more I give. Oh, okay, I give quite a few. That is the letter B, is 7. And the at symbol is the letter M. So once you get these, and once you go ahead through this cryptogram clue and eventually solve it, I'll show you what the solution looks like to the sentence after you figure out the cipher. All right, there we go. So these were the letters we were given, and I've gone ahead and solved it in red ink. I actually didn't solve it, I just pulled up the clue that I already had, but that's okay. When you solve it, it says the 100 Years' War. What was it fought over? Territorial rights and the issue of succession to the French throne? Or something more simple? How about a woman? Not Joan of Arc, though she was a woman of the 100 Years' War. Somehow, someone should write a book about Joan. And then it says, blank E. Richards. So after we figure this out, we get this right here. Somebody should write a book about Joan of Arc, and this has this name right here. So if we go ahead and use what we know about Google searching and finding clues via that, and we go online, I'm going to go ahead and type there was a very loud noise right there, I apologize. I just smacked my microphone for some reason. So Joan of Arc, E. Richards. Let's see who wrote this book. It was Laura E. Richards, written in 1919. So now we know the answer to the clue is the name Laura. And I would have ciphered that out and solved it, but I didn't feel like it. So instead, just gonna go on to the next clue, okay? Give me a break. This is a long tutorial. Anyways, if we click on this right here, we get a picture of Laura Vanderboom. I'm not sure why. I can't remember why I put that photo in there, but it's there. We've got another clue, one of the 16 clues that we've been working on. So I can go in here and go and create a new clue. This is clue 10 of 16. And these might seem like red herrings at first, but they eventually do make sense. I promise. I will show you why they make sense. And then we get a link to the next Google Doc form, which is Cube Escape Part 3 of 4. So right here, we get a link to Cube Escape Case 23, and all you actually got to do for this one, it's pretty easy. You just got to play the game. So once again, to save time for the tutorial, for the sake of the tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up Cube Escape Case 23 walkthrough. All right, and the first clue that we have says, it was the strangest scene I'd ever seen in my long career as a blank detective. So if we scroll through Cube Escape, you can see we immediately get an image. It was the strangest scene I'd ever seen in my long career as a homicide detective. So we'll type in the word homicide, and that will bring us on to the next clue. It will also give us an Imgur, which we'll go ahead and download that. And the next clue is, I collected all the information I could, blank, and locked myself into my office trying to learn. So if we scroll a little ahead, this game is split into 4 sections, so we'll find the second one right about here. There we go. We will find that same phrase. I collected all the information I could find. So this one is the word find. We'll go on, and we'll get another Imgur link. Download the image. And it makes it more fun if you actually play the game for the first time. A lot of this ARG was just to introduce these games to you guys so that you could have fun with them. Although I did not understand what happened after a deep sleep, I found myself on the floor of a blank chapel. If we skip ahead in this tutorial, right there, I saw it. It says a mysterious chapel. So we go ahead and type in mysterious chapel. Ooh. And then there's this, we get another Imgur link, so let's make sure to get that and not forget. And then it says, the time felt different to me. Like I did not only blank that moment, but also my past. And this is actually at the very, very end. So it's like right over here. We might have to play a little bit of the tutorial just to see the screen pop up there, but there it is. And the clues, I could not feel my body anymore. The time felt different to me, like I did not only lived that moment. So that word is lived that moment. Which is a bit of a typo on the game's mistake, but on the game's part, but you know, I won't hold that against them. Once we get these 4 downloaded Imgurs, we will go into Krita, our favorite art software, Krita. And if I go to my downloads and open these guys up and put them in chronological order, they will reveal a message. So this is the first one. We'll put number 2 right below that layer so that it lines up perfectly, and it will create a cool image. Number 3 will go on the bottom right there. And then number 4, whoop, all the way at the back. And right there, you can see it creates a nice little collaged image, and it says, I understand. What is memories? And memories is the answer to this puzzle. So if we type in memories, press next, we go on to the next clue. All right, and what we get from this is we get another clue, one of the 16 clues that we are coming to love and appreciate. Let me go ahead and put this in there, and this is clue 11 of 16. We're starting to get pretty close. We're starting to cruise through this, my gosh. And we get taken to the next Google Doc, which is Cube Escape Part 4 of 4. This once again takes us to another Cube Escape game called Seasons, and it gives us an Imgur link right here, which is a section of a note. I'll go ahead, I won't piece the note together, I'll just read it out, but let's start off with this. To whomever finds this note, the day she died, she tried to let me know. She tried to tell me. I couldn't quite make it out. Not even the man on the moon could have seen, though his proximity to her at the time was far closer than my own. Was it a time or a date? And it shows 4 hashtags. We're going to go and use YouTube walkthrough as our best friend. It is Cube Escape Seasons walkthrough. Excuse my recommended. That's a lot of weird videos over there. But it's talking about the man on the moon. So if we scroll through this tutorial, we'll eventually notice right here there's a scene where you actually click on the moon. And there are 4 numbers, a hashtag, 1487, which right here, we type that in to go into the next part, which we get another part of the letter. Let us continue the letter now. I thought it had read 1428, so that's when I arrived that same day, but Laura was nowhere to be found. Much later would I realize the significance of the number she revealed to me, though at the moment it seemed trivial. The green box. It hadn't been a time, but rather a code. A code to a green box with a blank in it. How peculiar. Let's see what's in this green box that this man is talking about and skip the sad part. Oh, I showed a little bit of it. Here is the box he's talking about with something very peculiar in it. And it is a shrimp. How peculiar indeed, my friends. Okay, if we type in shrimp, Cube Escape's kind of a weird game, but it's fun. I love it. We go on to the next part of the letter. And how devastating. Watching the darkness take her away, it tore me apart. It wasn't until the winter of 1981 that I recovered. I had known of a darkness lurking in her, and Laura, well, she always had an odd way of letting me know. She used to leave me clues, many of which made very little sense to me. Joan of Arc, shrimp, the number 1428. What did it all mean, if anything? Her final clue was what truly stumped me, though. She wrote me a date. I had no idea this would be the day of her death. Very sad, indeed. But if we scroll ahead in the tutorial, a lot of this tutorial is pretty sad. When you do it on your own, it makes it more sad. Since I'm doing a tutorial format, it's not as sad to me, I guess. I don't know. It was sad when I was creating it. I don't know. But if we stop right here, this is the winter of what was it that he said? Winter of 1981. And right here, we actually find the date of Laura's death, which is December 10th, 1971. So if we go on here and type 12-10-1971 and press next, there we go. We are brought to another Imgur, the last section of the letter. Not the last section. The way she phrased it, it seemed as though she had been going to a theater event on that same date. Recording session of sorts, possibly. She loved music, and particularly this one band. I can't remember for the life of me the band's name, but they released an album with the day of her death 50 years later. It was it was titled Blank Theater, with a city, state, and the date of her death, I believe. The years have made my mind old and my memories distant. So, what you want to do from here is type in the actual date of her death. And we get an album called Fox Theater, St. Louis, Montana, with that date. And the answer is Fox. That was total coincidence that I found that date of that band, but, it was cool. I liked it, so I included it in the puzzle. Okay, and then we get the last part of her letter. Right here. How I wish she would have been able to experience all those years with me. I'm unsure of the reason I chose to write this letter today. I believe my time to be approaching soon, and well, I guess I couldn't leave the final clue I'd found from her unspoken. Maybe someone else will find a use for it. Laura's final clue to me was a postcard. At first, I thought it was a horror joke, but it couldn't have been. At least, I hope it wasn't. In the same envelope, I've pocketed the postcard she sent me. All it was a picture of her in the same room she had been murdered in, but the scene was off. It was tranquil. A tree blowing in the wind, Laura looking out of her window, blood nowhere in sight, and 2 words, one of which was scratched out at the top. I take this as an omen now, that she's in a better place, and that sooner rather than later, I'll finally be joining her. I look forward to joining her in the stars above, to be reunited with the love of my life. It would mean the world to me. Sincerely, Robert. And according to Robert, he also gave us a postcard. And this should look familiar if you play through this entire Cube Escape, because at the very end, right here, the winter of 1981, we start clicking through, or at least Rusty Lake does, because they provided this tutorial. And here in the window, it says "The End?" ? Which is this right here. So the final answer to this section is end. And if we click that, that is, I believe, the section of Cube Escape done. Yeah, so we get another clue, one of the 16, which I'll go ahead and, I did not mean to open you, Fred. Sorry about that. Let's go into clues 1 of 16, create this right here, clue 12 of 16. We're getting close. We are getting close. And it's a riddle right there that we got. We've also got a resource pack, which I will go ahead and put on, or at least not put on, but, just put in my resource packs folder so I have it. I feel like I say that every single time. That's okay. And then we also get our final puzzle, that level again, 1 of 4. I'm excited for this one. Not really, because it means I have to solve Sudoku puzzles, which is okay. That's okay. Okay, so the way that this section goes is we first start off with a Sudoku puzzle right here. And once again, it's doing that weird thing where if I don't copy and paste the link, it does that for some odd reason. And we also get this Imgur link right here as well, which is this Sudoku level actually solved. So what we got to do is we've got to solve for the Sudoku puzzle, and then we can get our coordinates, or our two numbers, red plus blue, which right here, it says to add red and blue, and when you get it, it equals the number 4. For this Sudoku, I'm actually not going to go ahead and do it because I've already done it once before, but if you want to see the solution, you got to solve it for yourself. How about that? How about that? I'll just say that the number red, this bottom left one is well, it is the number 3. So obviously red is 3. Let's go ahead and type this over here because we're actually going to need this. I'm just showing you the solution. I already did the Sudoku puzzle. I don't want to do it again. And then blue is this top left one, which is number 1. So if we do 3 plus 1, that's 4. And then we can press next. So blue equals 4. We got to remember this because it's going to be important. The next Sudoku level, don't ask me where I'm getting the answers for this, guys. I'm just a magician like that. Is green plus yellow. Okay. And we get another Imgur link once again. If we click on the Imgur link, it shows us the green is this bottom square middle right there. So green is the number 2. So let's type this down. Green equals 2. And then it says yellow, which is this top right middle one, is 4. So that means that yellow equals 4, which 2 plus 4 is the number 6. So we enter that in, and that should give us, yet again, another link to another Sudoku level, which you have to solve. And you get the Imgur image as well, showing purple and magenta. In hindsight, for colorblind people, I should have made that a little bit more obvious, but that's okay. Forgiveness. I ask for forgiveness. And let's go ahead and open up this right here, the solved puzzle. So we need purple plus magenta right here. Purple is this bottom number, which is the number 7. So purple equals 7. I said that like semester does usually. And then we got magenta in the middle of this one, which is the number 8. So magenta equals 8. And if we do the math, 7 plus 8 is 15. So we type in the number 15 right there. And then from there, we get one more Imgur with a whole bunch of chaos going on, but we've also got a mathematical equation right down here. So we're actually going to go ahead and solve for that. It's circled in the orange, but all the other things are kind of like red herrings to mislead you. So we've got blue, which is the number 4, plus red, which is 3. And that's going to be, I guess, squared. You type like that. Squared times, because the number is right next to the parentheses, a little bit of algebra. Actually, no. Yeah, no, it is times green. So times green, which green is 2. I'm hoping I do this right. It's been so long since I've done algebra. So all of that, right, because that's all together, plus 2 times purple, which purple is 7, equals 3 times yellow. Doing this on Notepad is so much harder too. 3 times yellow, which is 4, plus... and then magenta plus x, which magenta is 8 plus x. Okay, so we got to solve for x. So let's do this properly. 4 plus 3 is 7. Yes, 7 squared is 49. 49 times 2. Let me get my calculator out. 49 times 2 is 98 plus 2 times 7, which is 14, equals 3 times 4, which is 12. Plus, I guess it would just be plus 8 plus x, really. And then we can do a little bit of subtraction, so 98. I don't know if I did this right. I'm looking at it. It does work out. Pizza Boss, my little brother, made this algebraic equation, and if I wasn't doing the video right now, I would be able to solve it if I thought about it. But the end result, the end answer is x equals 26. And I do know this. I did solve it. I know I'm an art major, but right now my mind's just blanking. I've been recording for quite a few hours, so it's okay. The number's 26. That's what you solve for, and it works. It does work. I promise that. So we press the number 26, and we get a link to this imgur right here, which shows a picture of one of my old YouTube videos. And it says December 4th, 2020. That is actually the date of my YouTube video. I'm just gonna X out of this real quick. So what we wanna do is we wanna find this YouTube video that I made a very long time ago, which I recommend. It's me playing just maps. So it's just kind of like nonchalant, just kind of puzzle vibing. Ooh, I gotta click on videos to scroll down more. But it's a good video. I remember really liking it, and that's actually what inspired me to create my own That Level Again game, which took me like a year to do, but that was really fun too. Anyways, this is the video right here, and if you click on it, look at that. There it is, the intro, the beginning. I actually have in the description, and here's the link to the final clue of That Level Again 1 of 4. So I actually have clues down there, right there. What we want to do is we get this imgur link. So we want to type in the number 26 once again. Why? I'm not totally sure, couldn't tell you, but I do. And then you want to find level 26 on That Level Again, which the answer is, oh, that's why. Because 26 is this number scribbled out. It makes sense, I promise. Anyways, the next answer to this is simple. So you just put simple right there, and that takes you on to, that's the completion of That Level Again section 1 of 4. It's a little bit janky, isn't it? A little bit. A little bit of jank is okay. A little bit of jank is healthy. It's good. So let's put this in our clues folder, because that was another imgur we just got. That was clue 13 of 16, if I can type. And now we move on to the next section, which this also takes us to a Google Docs form, That Level Again 2 of 4. So immediately we get an imgur to a logic puzzle, which the first time I did this logic puzzle, all right, I'm not good at logic puzzles. I stink at them. I had to create this, first of all, which was just ridiculous. I had to create this, but then I had to implement it, make everything work, and this was a nightmare. This took me like 10 hours to create this clue. So rather than solve it again and make a time lapse of that, this is not cheating, because this is the tutorial and I have the answer somewhere on my desktop. I don't want to invest that much of my life into it again. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's bad or not, but let's see. That level again. This is section 2. We have got answers in this created document right here. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do the logic puzzle, and this gives you the answers to all this. But what I can do is I can just press that and then get all the correct answers. This is what it should look like when you finish the logic puzzle. And when you do finish it, you'll find out that level 01, the character is Guy, the attire is a shirt, and the personality is longing. Level 3 is Moon, that's the character. The attire is an EMU, and the personality is lofty. Level 05 is Ninja. The attire is a, what's it called? I don't know how to pronounce it. A Yori, I think? I just looked up what ninjas wear. And then the personality is loyal. And then level 79 is the girl. The attire is a dress, and the personality is somber or lonely. It is lonely. That's what it is. So those are the answers to the logic puzzle if you were curious about that. And then we can go ahead and start entering in the answers. So it says, what level number is the one who wears the dress? That's the girl, so it's level 79, and we know this because of the logic puzzle. What level number is the one who wears an EMU, a spacesuit? That's the Moon, which is level 3. What level number is the guy first introduced? That's level 01. What level number is the one who is loyal? That's the Ninja, so that's level 5. And then what level number is the one who is lonely? That is the girl, once again, so that's level 79. And right there, that's that clue done. That logic puzzle takes long enough that I figured it would be fine being a clue of just itself, like a clue all by its lonesome, and I still stand by that. If you guys like logic puzzles, you guys will have fun with that part. I'm not a big fan. I will never create one again. Okay, so we got clue 14 of 16, and we go on to section That Level Again 3 of 4. So we get an imgur link immediately. And what this actually is it's a letter from the girl. I'm going to go ahead and download this because we will get a bunch of letters from it. If we open it up in Krita, as we do, because it's easier to zoom around and work this, you can see there are a lot of letters, and there are some scrambled words because I don't know why. In my mind, the girl was dyslexic, and I wanted to incorporate that in here. I don't know why I thought that, but I did for some reason. Anyways, I'm going to type the letters that are underlined in blue, and it should create a sentence if you do it correctly, but some of the words are scrambled. So I have no, I'm just looking at these letters right here too. This is letter E, and I have no end, so that wasn't scrambled. And right here now, and am, the word am, that's a weird word. I am H-E-N-T-H-E, I am the end, because E D. This is kind of hard. The end, I-N, in. Oh, I am the ending. Sorry, man. This is messing with my brain. This is faux, so that's of. I'm not the greatest at reading cursive too. I have no end and am the ending of all. And then, because there's A-L-L-T-H, all that begins. That's what it says. Whew, that was really hard. I'll read the letter to you too if you guys are interested in what it says. But that's how you solve that. It's very complex. You get the letters and you just unscramble some words and you have to figure out what they say. It says, "Dear Guy, I always knew somehow that my life wasn't intended to be very long. Yes, there was a sadness in my life, but that's not the reason I passed. As soon as I met you, that sadness was replaced and filled up by you. I'm writing this letter to you today to let you know that if I could do this all ever again, I would have done everything I could have to meet you way sooner. One day, you and I will be reunited, but until then, just always know that you were my beloved, and the only guy that I ever signed my heart safely away to. Solely away to. Love, girl." That's what it says. Whew. Anyways, we get this. And I just accidentally created, didn't I? Whoopsie. It says, "I have no end and am the ending of all that begins." That's what you get from this. And that's actually a riddle for the word death. Because death is, let's read the riddle. Death has no end and is the ending of all that begins. So it's death. And that's the next one. Very somber, very sad. Let's go on to the next Imgur link. Which right here, we have got another Imgur image. And I'm going to open this in Krita again as just to make it easy on us to read. How do I rotate this? Is it like this? There we go. Okay. So we get this right here. I'd always been alone, but then I met you. We had become a very good team. I was ready to do everything for you. I shared everything with you. Words were what helped to become closer. There was always a way to you. We blank each other. Did I betray you? I made my way alone. I changed my point of view. I didn't want to do anything at all, but I stayed still. I destroyed everything that moved me. I let other forces control me. I'd remember it. So the words right here that are blanked out, that's the word that we want. And you can see according to this title that if we outline this, this is actually pointing to that level again, 3, an abbreviation for the game. So instead of actually playing the game, like I've been doing, I'm gonna find a tutorial for it because this tutorial for this ARG is already way too long. I typed soundtrack instead of tutorial. So if we go on here, we eventually get to this right here where those words begin that I just read. I did not create those words. These words are in this tutorial. And you can see, like I just read, I'd always been alone. I've always been alone, but then I met you. So you can see I just replaced some words. And the phrase that we're looking for was right about here. We supplemented each other. So the word that was missing, we blank each other, was supplemented. So if we go into that level again and type supplemented, that'll bring us on to the next section of the clue, which I think is actually the conclusion of that part 3 of 4, because we get clue 15 of 16. Wow, we are getting very close. I didn't download that for some reason. I just clicked off of it. There we go. Let's download clue 15 of 16 and put that in our clue folder. Let's put these in already used clues. We also get a link to the next Google form, and this is actually the final section. That level again, 4 of 4. I can't believe it. You can't believe it. This video is gonna take a million years to render. That's okay. Let's go ahead and download that level again, clue 4 of 4, which is actually going to be a video file. So when it's done downloading, we click into it, and there's some music to it and everything, but you can see it just shows a bunch of scenes. Basically, that's what it does. But they're out of order. And so our job as a puzzle sleuth detective person is to figure out the correct order of those clues, because each video clip has a letter that correlates to the video clip inside. So I'm going to go into Resolve because that's just what I use to video edit. And we're going to click onto here, go to File, and open up our downloads, which is this clue right here. And we're going to begin to start snipping the clues into the correct order. So it starts off with this, which this is the correct clip right there. So that's perfect. Oops. And then the next clip, we've become a very good team. That's in the correct order as well. But then you can see we go out of order. Okay, so we got to figure out what the order is. And when we do, I probably won't actually go ahead and do this on screen. Basically, you just go according to the game. There are some clips as well from that level again 4, so you have to put those in order as well. But when you do, it should spell out a sentence, and the sentence that it spells out is, I promise I'm not cheating, by looking at my ultimate clue sheet. Anyways, the sentence that it says is the last solution, Brie. That's what the video clip says when you type it in. So what you want to type into this right here is Brie in all caps. And this will take you to another video file clip. And what this will do is if when we download it, it will actually bring us to a miniature video, which I will go ahead and I'll just let it play in the video so that you guys get to see what it's like. Yeah, let's do that. Let's watch the video clip clue that it gives us. I had always been alone, but then I met you. We had become a very good team. I was ready to do everything for you. I shared everything with you. Words were what helped to become closer. There was always a way to you. We supplemented each other. Did I betray you? I made my way alone. I changed my point of view. I didn't want to do anything. I did all I could, but I stayed still. I destroyed everything that moved me. I let other forces control me. I'd remember it. What's next? I needed to look around. Go beyond the frame. Move. And finally, I made it. There she was. I hadn't betrayed her. She'd been there all along. Or had she? As the world collapsed around her, I knew I would be there for her. In life and in death. In sorrow and in joy. For all eternity to come. She and I were meant to be. With the gentle breeze and the luminous clouds above, I sat with her. She with I, and together we sat. And we waited. I didn't want you to see this. So beautiful and so sad. Oh man. Okay, the answer is bad idea in all caps. And that's just kind of, it's not really a hard clue. Honestly, it's just a video. And I kind of figured that after this whole ARG, you'd be kind of tired of clues. So I just included that just as like a little bit of a breather. But if you type in the word bad idea right there, we go ahead and we get a link. And the links that we get is clue 16 of 16. So we finally get that. And we're able to put that in our 16 clues of folder that we now have, that we've built up over this entire course of this tutorial, this video. And we also get a link to the resource pack number 4, which I'll go ahead and put on. And this time, this time I actually will put on all the resource packs. Yes, I do want to put these on. Give them to me. Give me the resource packs. Thank you. And here we are. So we've got the 4 keys, very important keys. And this is kind of what I meant a very, very, very long time ago today. I said, while we were doing the, which one is it? The escape room, I said that this would be important over here. These 4 clues. I said, you'd have to come back to this map. And what you're supposed to do, whoa, my sensitivity feels a little weird. I think the batteries in my mouse are dying. Sorry. What you're supposed to do is with these resources packs on, you actually need to find the blocks that have changed. You can do this by going into the resource pack itself and actually like finding what files I've changed, but I already know what they are. I've changed a creeper. So you can see the creeper texture has changed. I'm not gonna go into easy to show you, but basically the creeper relates to the first part of the ARG, the Minecraft part 1 of 4 section. So we put the creeper egg right there, right in Brianna's section. The next part is Catherine. So the key that we want, it shows us that a netherite helmet is now a hat. And this is actually the same hat, the top hat, that Jack wears in that level, like, not that level again, but the company and myself. So Catherine and Jack in the company and myself, that hat, retextured, gets put right there. And it looks a little weird when you put it on your actual head. I did my best while working on the resource pack. Laura is from Cube Escape. And what I did to retexture that is if you go to glass, this kind of looks like the main cube that they use from the game. If you angle it just right, this looks like the Cube Escape cube. And I put that there because the key shows us, what the keys do is they just show which blocks have changed, and then you have to decide which one goes according to which person in each of the games. And the last one we'll get is, I just whacked my microphone again, I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. We'll get the painting void, because the painting void specifically has changed to that level again, the girl. If we put that in there right there, it says, we get a link that says click me, which means we have solved this map right here. It's so exciting, it's so great. And we get to click me and go to a world, which I'm gonna go ahead and download and put into my Minecraft world. All right, and the world that we got is called the Brie of My Dreams main world. Where is it? There it is. All right, this is where the 16 clues are finally going to make sense, and I'm so excited to show you guys. All right, clue 1 of 16 is this right here. What it shows is it shows that lighthouse on this hill that we're actually standing on right now. And the first clue is actually a give me. If we look over here, this is where the lighthouse stood, and inside that lighthouse is the letter G. All right, so now the next clue is it's gonna be kind of a treasure hunt right here. It will show this image of us zooming out on a Minecraft map seed, and then typing in the highlight biomes box, I will write the Brie of My Dreams main world. So what this is signaling for you to do is kind of what you did earlier with the MCA selector in the Ian section, the Minecraft section. If we open the world, the Brie of My Dreams main world right there, and zoom out, you know what we'll see? We will see the letter O form. So we know that there's the letter O now. So now we've got G-O. I'm gonna type this out in chat so that we can have that. Clue number 3 shows a picture of this house right here. And if you use the MCA selector, you can actually find all these builds. So if we were to like zoom in and try to zoom around, we would eventually find all the builds that we would need to. So you can see there's builds right there, there's builds right there, coordinates over here. And this is how you find the coordinates too. In the bottom left, it tells you the coordinates of each of these places. So you could just keep scrolling around until you found all the builds you needed to. You can see there's a house right there. You just gotta find that stuff. What I'm gonna do for the sake of the tutorial and the length of it, I believe I buried something right over here. It is a book and quill with coordinates on it. Beautiful, beautiful coordinates. Where we want to go right now is Brie's house. That is Brie's house, which we'll teleport to right over here. And if we fly up into the sky to kind of mimic where the clue looked and then look at it again, the image that we have been given for clue 3, you can see that there's this red square right here at the bottom. That is this square right over here. If we open it up, there's a barrel with the letter T. So now we've got go T. And I know it's not the word got, so it's go T. You have to figure that out eventually, but it does make sense. Okay, clue 4 of 16 is filled map, a command, or a friend in plain disguise. Try 27. Okay, so that's a haiku referencing to use the fill command. I personally don't know what this command is, so I always just find it from a website. I think it's called Arcade or something like that, but it gives me the answer. And then I just want to give myself the filled map number 27, and you can see that is the letter O. So that's what that was saying to do. So now we've got go to, and let's look at our next clue of this puzzle, which is clue 5 of 16. It says one of these men has classified intel. Find who it is. If you recognize very closely, that looks like the inside of an airplane, which you can find once again using MCA selector. In here, it says these are the men, the bald-headed men, and one of them, you, has classified intel. It is the letter T. So now we've got go to T. Let's look at the next clue, which says clue 6 of 16. This is in the city right here. And if we go ahead and teleport over to the gallery / cafe, that's where the city is in my coordinate book, we will find the city. It's really cool too that you guys get to experience this, because this is actually the set that I used to record the Brie of My Dreams movie, which is basically the ultimate goal of this entire ARG. But you can see right here, this is the building that was scribbled out in that image that we saw when we clicked right here. And what it is actually Morse code, 4 dots for the letter H. So it's go to TH, the. You can see that's going to be the, but we'll still solve the clues like they're supposed to be intended. This right here, it shows the lighthouse that my guy walks through in the animation. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find that lighthouse, which I do have coordinates to right here. If we teleport inside and then go to the bottom, we'll find this clue right down here, which has an X on this map. And now we just gotta find the buried treasure, which I believe it's like right over here somewhere. Watch me find this. You know what? I'm gonna find this without the map. It's this spot. I recognize this spot. It's a couple blocks down, I believe. Somewhere over here. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot. No, I'm in the right spot. There it is. Okay, so let's go to the... And our next clue that we want to use is clue 8 of 16, which is just some coordinates for us. Lovely. Love to have coordinates. The coordinates are the end of the road, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just fly down this road. So let's do a little bit of flying all the way down the road through the map to the end. And there's this barrel, which is clue 8 of 16, which is the letter C. So now we've got go to the C. Let's go into the next clue, which is clue 9 of 16, which we already actually unscrambled earlier in the video. So it's cafe, hidden letter, scramble. There is a cafe in this map, right here, the galleries and the cafe. If we go to these coordinates, we will find this cafe, this set, and in one of these barrels, I believe it's this one, is the letter O. So we go to the CO. The next clue is 10 of 16. Once again, it's a place to teleport. So let's go ahead and teleport there. See where we go, and we're in this tunnel where we have this right here. It says 0 and 1. 0 and 1 are binary, these two numbers, and we want to find these lights because there's actually a binary to English translation, the green and purple. So if we go down here, you can see, I believe, was green 0? I actually cannot remember for the life of me now. Yeah, green was 0. So if we fly over here and find these colors, we will find this number right here. It's 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Right there. And that's actually binary for the letter O. So now we've got go to the COO, which will all make sense. Then we've got this. Bree, don't forget your homework and your locker again. So this is a reference to the school that Bree goes to. If we teleport over to her school, right over here, you can see there are a bunch of lockers, and I believe it was this locker. I've got a pretty good memory actually, with the letter R in it. So now we've got this phrase, go to the COOR, right there. The next clue, clue 12 of 16, is a riddle. Although I'm not a bird, I have wings so I can fly. I can help you travel by jetting off through the sky. That is in reference to an airplane, but there's also an airport in this map. So if we teleport to the airport, and we search around in this hopper right here, there's the letter D. Yeah, my memory. Let's go. I'm proud of it today. I'm spot on with these clues. All right, clue 13 of 16 is a repetitive pattern, but this pattern looks very similar to road number 4, drum roll. It looks very similar to this, the side of this bridge. And right over here, would you know it, is the letter S hidden in the side of the bridge. So now we've got the phrase, go to the courts, okay? Let's look at the clues because these final 3 clues are the most important. We get this video right here of Brianna in the video sitting next to her painting. We want to find that spot on the map, and you can do that by locating the white cliffs and then going from there, from her perspective, to find this area right here where there's a chest with this number, 4064. So this is where it gets really important. These are the most important clues right here, the final 3. We get that number. We've got clue 15 of 16.
Have I really gone through every single Brianna? This phone book has to be out of date.
Wait, did I dial her number right? 863-438-7765. Oh wait, it's 4765, not 7765. Why did I dial 77? So that was a clue of me reading off a note, and I actually say the answer in the thing. This doesn't matter as much since it's y coordinates, so the coordinates are 77, but I'll show you what my guy was reading, what I was reading in that clue, which is in my house. I said I'm reading from a phone book. If you go in here into my house, right on this table is a phone book with that number that I'm reading. And I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading these two digits wrong, and I say that they're 77 by accident, but that's also the answer to this part of the ARG, is this. Now, we only need the final Z coordinates to finally conclude this puzzle. This right here. Wait, where did I put the clue for the final section of the ARG? Right there, we get a picture of my guy, me. Look at him. Look at him, so cute. We get him up here saying, where did I find where did I put the last clue to the ARG? In this chest is the number 1342. And so now we get this phrase from the 16 clues. The 16 clues have served faithfully. Let us teleport over there now. 4064771342. Here we are in this house, looking around, and here's a note. It says, where was it? The attic? And here you go, onto the final treasure hunt. In this barrel over here is, it must be in the kitchen. We get the notes of Brianna going throughout her day. And it's an interesting little treasure hunt. We'll go on it, and I'll show it to you as we go. Wait, right here. Wait, was it actually outside? Question mark. There's a back door over here, actually, isn't there? You can go over here, go outside, and then outside in this barrel, in this chest is, I'm closer. Down this path, maybe? And then we find this path. We start going down this path, which I'm just gonna fly through sort of skillfully, you know. And there's another note. This is familiar. I'm closer to him. And it starts to get a little bit somber, a little quiet, down this path a little bit more. And eventually, we'll find another note. I see it looming around the corner. There it is. It says, why do I feel so sad? Continue down the pathway. Here's this clue right here. This isn't good. Is that a boat I see? If we swim out across the ocean, over here, there's a boat that you can see in the distance. And there's this note. I need to find him. He's north. Then we see this note lying over there. I'm going to clear my inventory real quick. And it says, the mushroom. He went this way. If you follow the mushroom path right here, we follow up the mushrooms. We find this note. Oh no. And then I've lost his trail. Is he north? We start continuing north, and then we find the seats. These seats will make sense when you see the animation, the Brie of My Dreams. But here on the seat it says the Brie of My Dreams ARG with a button, and right here you get a link to a map. So the map that we get is the Brie of My Dreams Fiend, and this is basically the end of the game. This is the end of the ARG. We get this button, and it says, where did Brianna die? So first we go through this quiz, which Brianna died on a cliffside. Catherine died at her home. Catherine, I'm sorry, died on a cliffside as well. And then where did Laura die? She died in her home. It's sad that all these girls died. Where did Girl die? I thought it was interesting, though, because they had these similarities, too. Where was Brianna's home? Brianna's home was a cottage, and then Catherine's home was a house. So was Laura's home. It was a house as well. And then so was the girl's home. It was a house. And then it has this. Who was Brianna's lover? The answer to that is Ian. Who was Catherine's lover? The answer to that is Jack. Who was Laura's lover? And the answer to that is Robert. And then who was girl's lover? And that is just Guy. And then it says, who was Brianna truly? And all the answers work. Who was Catherine truly? Who was Laura truly? Brianna. And then it says, who was girl truly? Brianna. And then we finally get this final part, which I will go ahead. This is the very end of the tutorial, and I will go ahead and let this play for you guys to watch who've not seen it yet. Here it goes. The Brie of My Dreams ARG has come to an end. Good job on completing this. I know it wasn't easy, but having come all this way means a ton to me. It means you wanted me back enough to sacrifice your time, your effort, and your genius puzzle-solving skills in order to bring me back from retirement. And I will be coming back. But first, I'd like to tell you a story. You've made it this far, and by now, you probably suspect that the Brie of my dreams, that Brianna, well, there's more to her than I let on. And so that's what this story will actually be about. With the conclusion of this ARG, I've created a short film called The Brie of My Dreams. And after this spiel of mine, I will release the short film privately to you and your possible team of ARG sleuths. But it's time to begin the story. The real Brie of my dreams. It all started almost 7 years ago. It's crazy to think how much time has gone past. I can't remember the specific date or time of the year. I just remember waking up and having had my first dream of her, a dream that had been so real, so true to me, that it was just so hard to wake up to reality. It was my first time seeing her, a mysterious girl who had long, curly, dark brown hair, a bright and joy-filled smile, and a peace about her that made her seem like an angel. And somehow, some way, I knew that she was the one. I continued to have dreams of her, sometimes multiple nights in a row, and sometimes I wouldn't see her for years. I'm still not sure to this day what makes her appear, but when these rarest of the rare nights happen, I wish I could live in my dreams forever. A few years went by, the dream of this mysterious girl randomly visiting me in my nights of very, very deep sleep. I never told anyone about her, at least not at the time, because the entire idea was just absurd. But she continued to appear, completely out of my control due to my subconscious working on its own time. She continued to appear so much that an idea came to me. At the time, I was around 17. I was an avid reader and I loved books about mystery and thrillers with unexpected twists and turns. So I thought to myself, why not write a book about this mystery girl who had been haunting my dreams for the longest time? The idea came and it passed. I didn't act on it until she revisited my dreams again and again. And for whatever reason, a name came to this mystery girl. Brianna. With Brianna's name revealed to me, I wrote my book, The Fracture of Reality, combining the two genres of mystery and thriller to create a book devoted to her. It took me a year or so to finish this novel and publish it, but when I did, I realized the reason I'd gone through all this effort was actually a way of secretly reaching out to her. It was my way of telling Brianna that I was here, that I existed. Anyways, nothing ever came of the book. Years would go by after publishing it, and I never heard from her. Until one day, while I was working as a cashier at the Home Depot, of all places. I remember the day pretty well. I had just finished working one of our busier summer days working the register, and it was time for me to head back home. While walking back, I had a question for my manager, though I cannot remember for the life of me what it was, but I saw he was busy. He was talking to Brianna. Her and I made direct eye contact and my heart stopped because I knew deep down it was her. I panicked and I left. I'm not sure why I did, and I'd come to regret it later on. I left Brianna abruptly panicking. And I immediately ran into one of my friends, Bradley. I freaked out and I was talking his ear off, and I asked him if he knew the new girl who was being hired on. He looks at me and he tells me her name is Brianna. I felt my whole world twisting and turning in on itself like a big vertigo attack. The girl from my dreams, she was going to be working at the same place as me. I went home that day, flustered in the most amazing way possible. I was excited to go back to work, which is definitely an oddity for a teenage kid. The next week I went back, eager and as excited as ever, but there was no sign of Brianna. I figured she was still going through the hiring process and must have been doing training or something like that, so I left work and went back the next week, but no Brianna in sight. Another week, still no Brianna. I began to panic and ask around to see if anyone knew what was happening. No one remembered her, not even Bradley. It was as though she were a ghost. A year went by. Still, no Brianna. My hope disappeared, along with the idea of her even existing. A few more years would end up passing by, and I'd still have the occasional dream of her. I had a dream where I learned her last name, but forgot it as soon as I woke up. I had a dream where I was able to memorize her phone number, but when I woke up and dialed, it was the number of a church. Years later, I dialed it again, only to find out it didn't exist. I'm not sure how, but I knew that these dreams of mine were all connected to her in some sort or manner. But it didn't matter. The idea of her began to fade as the time continued to pass by, until one day, after driving home after having gone out to get some food, I was driving up my home street, and there, walking on the side of the road, she was walking up my home street. I couldn't breathe. My world was twisting and turning in that terrifying yet exhilarating way that I'd only ever experienced once before. I parked my car and dove out, scrambling down the driveway of my house to meet her. But when I got out and looked for her, she was gone. She vanished. 1 second there, the next completely and utterly gone. I didn't know what to think of this. Well, actually I did. I thought I was crazy, delusional, and that I should just let this idea go. I mean, after all, it is kind of crazy, right? So that's what I began to do. I left it alone. I started working on other things like my YouTube channel, college, and letting out my creativity through the means of art. But through everything I created, her presence only grew. Through my art, my videos, my schoolwork, she was somehow reflected in all of it. Brianna, she never left me. Since the beginning of all of this, it's now been 7 years. I still haven't met her, and through the extension of this ARG, I think I'm still hoping she'll see this and finally find me. But with my age and the gradual passage of time, I've come to terms with the situation. I'm still hopeful she exists, but I'm not sure if she even does. I don't dream about her anymore. I haven't seen her in years, and I just think it's time to move on. This ARG, this was me finally letting go of her. The telling of this story to all of you is all I have left, but I'm okay with this. It's a weight that's been lifted, and once more, I can finally breathe again. And that's the story of the real Brie of my dreams. I hope you guys enjoyed and had fun with this. It was a lot of fun to create, and it was something I was definitely really passionate about. I'll tell you guys the final solution to the ARG. You'll have to type in the Discord to let me know that it's time to come back from retirement. But the last thing I'd like to do is real quickly say what just might be my final words to Brianna. Here goes. Brianna, I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure who you are or where you're at, but I think it's time to move on. The idea of you will stick with me as life progresses, all the way till the end. But life's too short to worry and fret over a dream. So, with that said, I wish you the best. If you ever find this audio recording, please reach out to me. I'd still love to meet you. That would be just like the best day of my life. But right now, it's time to depart, move on, and forget. Maybe in another life, we'll meet one day. Goodbye, Brianna. The final clue to this ARG, what you need to type into the Discord, is in another life, Brianna. And with that is the Brie of My Dreams tutorial. That's how to solve this puzzle. And what I'm gonna do to finish off this video, because I'm really excited about this, I haven't yet put the very first clue to get this whole ARG jump started. So let me bring over the Discord, scroll down, and I guess this is it. This is like actually the start of it. Time to edit my message to say 10:27. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you see this video one day, that means you guys succeeded. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, if there is one, and enjoy life, enjoy Minecraft, and ciao.